Hey there, so we're looking at Piano Method Level 1A, page 21. So this Bach Minuet theme. And this one, for this book, this is the first time that they're introducing eighth notes. We've already looked at it in basic timing, but just to remind you how this works, eighth notes, they look like this. You've got a little extra flag here or beams, right? An eighth note is just a half a beat. So if your quarter note is 1, 2, 3 eighth notes are 1 and 2 and right. So just double time of whatever your quarter notes were. Usually eighth notes are in pairs like this, so they're beamed together. That means both of them are eighth notes, right? And they're equal to each other. So just make sure each one's a half a beat instead of like 3/4 of a beat and a quarter of a beat or anything like that, right? Exactly twice as fast as your quarter note, and each one's the same. So as we're looking at this little example, they've got it in 3/4 time, 3 beats, and then here's your eighth notes. So as you're counting it, you go 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3, right? So just keeping track, these 4 are all eighth notes, and they're all evenly spaced. It looks like there's more space here, like on the bar line or whatever. It's not, right? Those are all half a beat, and that's a whole beat. You can also think long, 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 short, 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 long, right? That works too, whatever makes sense for your brain. So that's one of the main things here in this piece. And then also on the right, there's some new symbols and terms playing with dynamics. So dynamics are the degree of softness and loudness in music. So see, these are some of the terms that come up a lot. Piano, as in like the instrument, the piano. This is where the word comes from. It means to play soft. Originally, keyboard instruments couldn't play loud and soft. They all played about the same level, the same loudness and softness. When they came up with an instrument that could play loud and soft, they called it a forte piano because it was loud and soft. Eventually, it turned around to be a pianoforte, and now we just call them pianos. But that's the idea. It came from Italian. So P is piano or soft. MP is mezzo piano, medium soft. And this means actually a little louder than the P, right? Mezzo is more of the medium range instead of the soft range. So mezzo piano. And then mezzo forte, right? This one is medium loud. So that's even more loud than the mezzo piano. And then forte is loud, right? So you'll see all of these possible symbols. In this piece, it starts off with the F. So that means just play it loud, right? All the way until you see something else. This is just counting all the way through the next line. In the third line, it says P, so piano. And that lasts until the end. So basically the first half is loud, second half is quiet. All right, so just looking at the right hand, looking at that first note, that is a D. It says put your thumb there. So this is back to D position. Same with the left hand. You'll see when you're playing the left hand, that's a D. Right, this F, they say put your third finger here. So both your hands are going to be in D position. You can check that out. So it should be, here's your middle C. Just to remind you, here's your D. You're putting your thumb there. You can feel these two white keys next to each other if you're in D position, right? E and F. All right. So back to right hand, we're going to read a little of this first. So you've got a lot of quarter notes. These are all long notes, right? They're all one beat. Until here, those 4 are eighth notes, and then that's a quarter note. So as you're counting it, you can count 1 and 2 and 3, or you can think long, long, long. When you get here, it's short, 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 long. Whatever makes sense to you is totally fine. We'll do it both ways. Let's do the first 2 lines. Actually, the next line, similarly, you have some eighth notes here. So the first 2 lines, we'll do them counting 1 and 2 and 3 and then we'll also do it with a short, short, long, long kind of thing. Okay, first line, right hand. 1, ready, and go. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and last second line 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's do that one more time. We'll do with the long, short idea. 1, ready, go. Long, 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 short, 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 long. Next line, 1, long, 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 short, 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 long, 2, 3. That's super long. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you look into the rest of the right hand in the third line, it's actually exactly the same as the first two lines, except that it's quiet, right? But the counting's the same, the jumps are the same, right? All in D position. Okay, so let's go back and look at the left hand, which is actually a good bit simpler, luckily. So it is D position starting with your third finger, right? And just reading steps down, down, and then there's your thumb. They tell you that's your thumb. So just if you can keep in mind your A here, your left hand A, that's the top line. If you see that, you're putting your thumb down. And here you're holding it for 3 counts, and then that's a tie, right? We've seen ties before, so keep holding it for those 3 counts. And all the way back down to your pinky, right? So if you can, at this point, keep track of your D's and your A's, that'll help a lot. You'll see a lot of those. In the second line, it does exactly the same thing. In the third line, the fourth line, the left hand doesn't change. It's all exactly the same as the first line, which is nice. All right, so let's just do a little left hand. So again, so if here's your middle C, write the C below it, but you're in D position, so over here. All right, so and again, you can slide in a little bit, then you can feel where you are. You have an E and F, those 2 white keys next to each other. All right, so left hand, 1, ready, and go. And 1, 2, 3, it's a tie, hold, 2, 3, and back to the D, 1, 2, and the next line, same thing, 1, 2, 3, tie, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So not too bad. It's just that, you know, when you put your hands together, then they're different. So let's try the first couple lines, both hands together. So here's the D position right hand, D position left hand, right? And so when you're playing these, they're just going in opposite directions, right? And then you have that jump to the thumb, you know that, but the right hand is not doing that, right? And then at the end, you have your pinky, right? So it's a lot of these fingers and your thumb, right? So just getting you really used to simplifying that left hand, because the right hand is more active. Okay, so first 2 lines, both hands, hopefully. 1, ready, and go, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Second line, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? And as we know, the second half is the same, it's just quieter. So and anytime if you want to pause, go back, whatever, repeat, whatever makes sense to you is all good. But we're going to take it from the top all the way to the bottom, hopefully while we're counting and putting hands together, also doing loud and soft. Okay, so we're going to start loud. I should also mention, to play loud, there's 2 things you can do. One is speed of your finger, right? If you play fast, then it's loud. If you play slow, then it's quiet. But also distance. If you drop from farther away, then it's louder. If you stay really close, then it's softer. So speed and distance both. Either one or both of them, whatever works better for you. But yeah, work with them both, because you'll need them eventually. All right, loud to start. 1, ready, and go, and 2nd line, 1, 2, 2, 3, and third line quiet. 2, and 3, third last line, 1, and 2, 1, and 2, and 3. That's it for that one. Let me know if you have questions.